Have you ever wondered what happens when someone racially discriminates against a millionaire? Well, you're about to find out. The grand lobby of Brookhaven National Bank radiated elegance. Marble floors gleamed under the glow of crystal chandeliers, and the air carried a faint scent of polished wood and fresh-cut flowers. Behind the counters, tellers worked efficiently, their polite smiles reserved for a clientele accustomed to exceptional service. At the far end of the room, the bank manager, Catherine Ellis, sat in her glass-walled office, the picture of professionalism in her tailored navy suit. That afternoon, a woman named Vanessa Morgan stepped into the bank. She was tall, poised, and dressed in a simple yet sophisticated beige dress, paired with comfortable flats. Her natural curls were styled neatly, and she carried a sleek leather handbag. Everything about her exuded confidence and class. Vanessa's demeanor was calm and composed, but as she surveyed the lobby, she couldn't help but notice the subtle shift in the atmosphere. Conversations hushed slightly, and a few curious gazes lingered on her longer than necessary. Still, she ignored them and approached the information desk, where a young receptionist greeted her with a hesitant smile. "Good afternoon. How can I assist you?" the receptionist asked. "Hi," Vanessa said, her voice warm but firm. "I'd like to open a high-value account and would appreciate speaking with the branch manager." The receptionist's smile faltered momentarily. "Of course. Please wait here." She hurried toward Catherine's office, glancing back at Vanessa as though she were uncertain she had heard correctly. Inside her office, Catherine looked up from her computer as the receptionist leaned in and whispered, "There's a woman here asking to open a high-value account." The receptionist hesitated before lowering her voice. "She doesn't really look like our typical client." Catherine raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "I mean, she's not dressed like someone opening that kind of account," the receptionist said carefully. Catherine sighed, shutting her laptop. "I'll handle it." When Catherine entered the lobby, her professional smile barely masked the flicker of judgment in her eyes as she took in Vanessa's appearance. "Hello, I'm Catherine Ellis, the branch manager. How can I assist you today?" Vanessa extended her hand. "Vanessa Morgan. I'd like to open a new account." Catherine shook her hand briefly, her grip noticeably loose. "What type of account are you looking to open?" "A high-value account," Vanessa said evenly. "I recently liquidated some assets and need a secure place to manage my funds." Catherine's smile tightened. "I see. And may I ask the approximate value of these assets?" "Around $8 million. Vanessa replied matter-of-factly. Catherine's eyebrows flicked up momentarily before she quickly regained her composure. "That's quite a sum," she said. "Do you have documentation to support this?" Vanessa suppressed a sigh. "Of course." Reaching into her bag, she retrieved a folder containing bank statements, proof of sale for her previous investments, and other relevant documents. Catherine glanced at the papers, but made no move to take them. Instead, she crossed her arms. "Ms. Morgan, to be honest, accounts of this size are typically handled through our private banking division. I'm not sure this branch can accommodate your needs." Vanessa frowned slightly. "I was under the impression that this branch offers comprehensive services for all account holders, regardless of account size." "We do," Catherine said, her tone sharpening. "But we're selective about the clients we take on. Managing such accounts requires a certain level of mutual understanding and trust." Vanessa's expression remained composed, but her voice took on a cool edge. "Are you implying that you don't trust me?" Catherine hesitated, clearly flustered. "That's not what I'm saying. I just think you might find a better fit at another institution, perhaps one more familiar with your circumstances." Vanessa's jaw tightened. "And what circumstances would those be?" Catherine glanced around, lowering her voice. "Ms. Morgan, I'm trying to save us both some time. Clients opening accounts of this magnitude typically arrive with prior introductions or recommendations. It's standard procedure." Vanessa took a slow breath. "So, despite having the necessary documentation and funds, you're refusing to open an account for me because I didn't come with a referral? Or is it because of how I look?" Catherine's face flushed. "I didn't say that." You didn't have to, Vanessa said calmly. I'd like to speak with someone higher up. Catherine pressed her lips together. I am the highest-ranking manager at this branch. There's no one else for you to speak with. Vanessa nodded slowly. All right, then. I'll escalate this myself. The next morning, Vanessa sat in the corporate offices of Brookhaven National Bank, meeting with the regional director, James Thornton. He had personally requested to see her after receiving her detailed complaint. Ms. Morgan, James said, leaning forward, I want to sincerely apologize for your experience. What happened yesterday does not reflect our institution's values. Vanessa nodded politely. Thank you, Mr. Thornton. But an apology alone won't address the deeper issue. This wasn't just a misunderstanding, it was systemic bias. James sighed, running a hand through his hair. You're absolutely right, and I assure you, we take this matter very seriously. May I ask how you'd like to proceed? Vanessa placed the same folder of documents on the table. I'd still like to open an account with Brookhaven National, but I need assurance that your team is committed to creating a better environment for all clients, not just the ones who fit a certain profile. James nodded firmly. You have my word, Ms. Morgan. We'll begin by addressing behavior at the branch level and implementing mandatory training programs for all employees. Later that week, Catherine was summoned for a meeting with James and a representative from the bank's Human Resources Department. As she listened to the complaints about her conduct, her confidence crumbled. She hadn't anticipated such serious consequences. Catherine, James said, his tone firm, Brookhaven National Bank has built its reputation on trust, respect, and inclusivity. Your actions not only jeopardized that reputation, but also deeply disrespected a valued client. I didn't mean to, Catherine began, but James raised a hand. Intent doesn't negate impact, he said, effective immediately. You'll be placed on administrative leave while we review your position. Catherine's face turned pale. Please, Mr. Thornton, give me a chance to make this right. James's expression softened slightly. That's not for me to decide. You'll have an opportunity to respond during the review process. In the months that followed, Brookhaven National rolled out new training programs on diversity and customer service. Vanessa became a trusted advisor to the bank, consulting on policies to ensure that all clients were treated with dignity and respect. When her story was made public, it sparked widespread conversations about discrimination in the financial industry and the necessity of accountability. As for Catherine, she never returned to her position. The incident was a humbling lesson in the importance of fairness and respect, one that would follow her for years. Meanwhile, Vanessa thrived. Her account at Brookhaven National flourished, and she used her wealth to invest in community programs and businesses. For her, the experience served as a powerful reminder of her own strength and the importance of standing up against injustice, no matter how subtle it might seem.